All right, guys. Okay, so I'm just hopping on here for just a minute. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, yeah, it's working. All right, so I'm just hopping on here for just a minute. I'm getting ready to eat dinner, but I had to talk to you guys about this. And I had an IEP today. Oh my gosh, it was crazy, 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 crazy. All right, it was seriously crazy. All right, the freaking attorney drives me nuts. Can't stand her. And she makes all these comments that are completely wrong and inappropriate. And I'm like, how can an attorney of all people, be saying these things, you know? Anyway, don't get me started. But things are going to come around and they're working out. But I'll be damned if this child's not going to have an IEP completely on point. So they're frustrated because I made them, and you guys got to hold up. So I made them go through the whole IEP. They were like, well, we did that last time. And I said, well, you're going to do it again because we need to make sure and go through again that the IEP is going to be on point. And, well, we already put that in there. Oh, well, we want to go through it again with you. That's what we're going to do. Oh, that's just ridiculous. And, that's just wasting time. This is what an attorney is saying. I said, I don't really care whose time I'm wasting. This is about a student and his needs, and we're going to go through every damn page. And if it takes 10 hours, then that means it takes 10 hours. And if you want to sit here and run your mouth, then you're going to make it go longer. Oh, that's just ridiculous that we have to go through this. This is what the attorney's telling me. She goes, you're just making this longer. I said, no, I'm being thorough, and I'm going to make sure that this child gets what's needed and appropriate. Because for the past 3 years, the school district that you're representing has bullshitted the parents and said that we can't do evaluations until the child's 10. So, you're going to go through the damn IEP. She did. Whatever. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm just like on my chair. I'm like totally winging it today, guys. I don't care, okay? I just want to give you the information, okay? And I wasn't going to go live today. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. I first want to say to you guys, thank you so much for reaching out. So many of you reached out and messaged me and said, your live yesterday was awesome. It helped me so much on behavior. And I am just thrilled because it gave me the things that I really needed to hear for what I'm going through. And that's what I want to hear from you guys, is not that I'm in my office or I have a nice outfit on or if I have makeup on or if I'm, whatever, I do what I do because I love it, and I don't do it to, put myself out there as an IEP advocate that just has to wear a suit all the time. And that's just not me. I got to do me. Okay. So what I do is pretty effective. So let's just keep it at that. All right, so I want to show you something. So you guys, in response to your behavior, okay? I put something together. I'm really excited about it, okay? And it's a developing an effective behavior intervention plan, okay? And I came up with it. It's many, 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 many pages, all right? And I'm excited to go over it with you, okay? So I did a lot of research. So as you can see, like the first page is all about research and idea and how a behavior intervention plan is defined. And I want to really get into behavior, and I want to get into ESY. I'm doing a webinar coming up soon. So you guys will be, if you're on my email list, you guys will get an email telling you about when the webinar is and all of that kind of stuff, okay? So it's going to be on assessments, ESY, and compensatory services, okay? So it's something you don't want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun, and, it's an hour of your time, okay? So post a 1 below, kind of like Dana did it already. Post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, okay? So today, I just wanted to tell you really quick, because we've been talking about assessments, right? And so a lot of times when, parents will ask for the assessments and they'll ask for it early and the school won't give it to them early, or the school gives it to them the day of their IEP meeting, which is totally screwed up, okay? You should be able to see it and review it in advance, okay? That is how you have the ability to participate as an equal team member. If you don't, get it in advance, then you're not able to participate as an IEP member. And that's a FAPE violation of not allowing you to participate as an equal team member. Okay? Yes, guys, post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live. Post a 2 below if it is your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 100th time catching me live. You guys are oldies but goodies. All right, so share this, and you can share it onto the group if you choose as well. Hopefully it's not shared on the group 50 million times, but, you know, share it on the group, share it to your friends. But, so FERPA, when you ask for a FERPA request, the schools have 45 days in which to get you your child's whole file or whatever it is that you requested. So you could request a year, you can request 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. All right, and I put exact things that I want in my FERPA request. All right, I don't play. All right, I ask for everything under the sun. Erin very recently saw the email that I sent to her school system in regards to Erin, go ahead and post for everybody what it is that you said that your husband said, which was hilarious, in regards to my communication via email with the school system. What she said, guys, I mean, she says it the best because it was so funny, but I'm very thorough about it, okay? And when a child has had and normally if an advocate or somebody else is really in play or they know you're not playing, they will get you that information within 2 weeks. It does not take 45 days. I've never had a school system take 45 days. All right. So when you're looking at assessments, all right, I gotta shut my computer. When you're looking at assessments, all right, and you're looking at the things that the school has tested and you get your assessments back, you're reviewing them, all of those things. One question a lot of people ask is, hey, can I see the assessment that you gave my child, right? Like the booklet, all right? And a lot of times the school system will say, no, we can't do that. There's copyright laws. Have you guys ever gotten that? Yes, that, Erin. But they're not going to understand that. You got to kind of elaborate. So don't believe that. That's not true. All right. So I'm going to explain this to you. So FERPA, for those of you who don't know, is a federal law that affords parents like you, like me, all right, the right to have access to your child's records and educational records specifically. All right. Other records, public records, is not FERPA. That's FOIA. Okay. So, and you have the right to have some control over the disclosure of the documents and records. And FERPA requires that the school system comply for your request for the access of the records within 45 days of the receipt of your email where you specify exactly what you want, how many years, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So, FERPA generally protects the rights of students and educational records, and educational records, as stated via FERPA, is kind of said broadly, okay? So those records and documents, I'm going to go over them with you, is files, documents, materials that contain information directly related to your child. So if it relates specifically to your child, anything in the educational setting that the school has that pertains to your child, it does not have to be educationally related, just related to your child, that is a FERPA document, okay? And they're maintained by the educational agency, the school, the LEA, whatever you guys would call it, okay? And it's under IDEA as well, okay? So like, this is law across the board that they have to adhere to. Yes, it's 45 days. That's correct. All right. So basically, this is what I want you to know. In contrast, all right, completed tests and instruments, and they're called instruments. Okay, it's just a test booklet. The booklet is called an instrument. All right. Containing information that identify a particular student. All right. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Whether or not the actual name of the student appears on the booklet that the assessment was given off of. Okay, so let's just say they took the Y or the KTEA or whatever. All right. Their name does not have to be on that specific assessment for it to be called an educational record. All right. So the school will say, oh, that document is copyrighted. Not if it's part of the educational record. It's not. Okay. So basically, whether or not the actual name of their name, full name, part of their name is on that record, it doesn't matter, on that booklet, all right? It still can constitute as an educational record via FERPA, all right? And that means that therefore, in cases where answer sheets, all right, are directly related to that child, all right, then that becomes an educational record, and therefore you have a right to review it. They cannot hand over that booklet to you like they can all other documents and submit it to you electronically, but they can review it with you either on Zoom where they share their screen, or you can go physically into the school. And this is if you have a reason to believe something was off, that you want to see what the document entails and want to just see what it is and see what is it about, and did it really cover your child's needs? And that even is considered, and you're able to do that even if you didn't request FERPA. Okay, you can just say, hey, I want to come in and review the material, and you can just go in and review it. They'll try to give you a hard time, but they can't. They're not allowed to. That doesn't mean they don't, but you know what I'm saying. All right. So in cases where a question booklet that includes both the questions and the student responses, the question booklet then becomes an educational record. Okay? So do not let the school system tell you, all right, that it is a copyrighted document and you are not allowed to see it. If that was the case, then the psychologist would not be able to see it either. I mean, we read books, right? We listen to Audible. Are those books not copyrighted? Of course they are. Does that mean we can't read them or have them in our hands? Of course we can. But for some reason, schools are getting away with saying, oh, we can't do that. You know, they'll respond and say, oh, that's not something we can give out. We're really sorry, but we'll give you this, this, and this, and try to appease you in that way. And it's just, don't do it. All right. Call their bluff. Know that they have to provide it to you. All right. So, moving on. So, what is your right in order to inspect and review these records? All right. So, copies of these records must be provided to you without fail. All right. And they must be given to you. There's also a FERPA memorandum that you can look up and read, and it has a whole article on your rights, the things that you can request, and so on and so forth. Does it give you all the things that, I put down of all the things that I want, etc.? No, but it does give you, all right, idea of what it is that you can ask for and what your rights are. One of the big things is you want to make sure that you're asking for things in the right way. All right. So when you say, I'm requesting, please provide me with my educational records, keep the please and thank yous to a minimum until you see that they're working with you. All right. So if you're saying, I'm on such and such on 4/6/2021, I am hereby, this is what you would say, Myrna, I'm hereby requesting my child's FERPA records to be emailed to me and sent to me in an electronical fashion. Do not have them mail it to you. You don't want all that paper. Have them electronically send it to you, and per FERPA, all right, that is allowed. Okay, it can be mail, it can be email, whatever. You actually get to choose, all right? If the school wants to really be butt heads, they can say, oh, well, we'll make available your educational records and you can come see them on Tuesday or Thursday, all right? And technically they can say that, All right. You need to get around that and make sure that it's sent to you. All right. And you need to make sure that you say, well, per FERPA, especially right now. Okay. I use COVID to my advantage. All right. So use COVID to your advantage and say per FERPA. All right. FERPA has allowed, due to COVID, all right, the ability of school systems to electronically send all documents via FERPA. And it is called a contingency. All right. So a contingency example is, I feel like I'm bouncing all over the place. So hold on. All right. So I don't want that light though in your face. So hold on. Okay. There you go. So is that given like a bad glare, my light, like the light in the background? Just tell me if it is, y'all. And then I'll change it. But so for example, a contingency, they may say, Dana or Aaron, tell me if that's like a bad glare. If it is, I'll just turn. So they'll say, oh, well, if one parent lives in New York and one parent lives in Chicago, and you're requesting the records in Chicago, well, the parent that lives in New York is not going to drive to Chicago to pick up these records. So that is a contingency. All right. So then at that point, the records can be emailed. So come up with your own contingency. All right. So what I mean by that is a contingency can be anything that enables you to go pick up the documents. Come on now, guys. Let's use our imagination. Okay. So I will leave that to you. I'm sure you guys all have an amazing imagination. And if not, go ask your kids. They got great imaginations of why you can't go up. And right now you can use FERPA. Okay. And so use it. I don't care what you use. Okay. But use it. And the thing is you don't have to lie. COVID's going on right now. You know, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is say, I'm not going to subject myself to sitting for hours in the school district's administration office to go through 3, 5, 6 years of documents. That is unhealthy. And I am unable to wear a mask for that long of a period of time. And I have whatever, allergies, breathing issues, whatever. Whatever you guys want to say. Okay. I literally couldn't do it. You know, like I would hyperventilate because I hate wearing masks. So I do it literally to go in stores and when I need to, just to be polite to everybody else. Because if it was my choice, I wouldn't wear a damn mask, you know. But I do it because it's the right thing to do. But you can use that. Like, I don't like it. You know, like I could not sit for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. The whole purpose of getting your child's records is to review it all and to compare and to do all that stuff. Think about how many hours that takes. You know, so then you're going in, what? You're going to take pictures of everything? I mean, you don't want to do that. You don't. It's hell. All right. I've done it because I fell for the bullshit and you don't want to do that. Okay. So don't do that. Okay. Don't do that. So what I want you guys to do is practice. All right. So I don't care if you asked for a FERPA request 5 months ago. Ask for it again. See what happens. Tell me what happens. All right. If your child had an evaluation in the last, let's say, 6 months, put in a FERPA request to see that assessment. Okay, so if your child had, you know, the Wyatt or the WISC or the KTEA or whatever it was, the Castle 2, you know, the BOT 2, whatever your child had, ask to see that document. Okay, and the reason I say that is I want to know what it is. Close the blinds a little. Okay. Let me just turn. Okay. So you want, is that better? So you want to make sure, don't look at all my crap. I had an IEP today, so I got all my snacks. Look, I'm going to show you. Look, I got blueberries. Can you see? All right. So I got blueberries and blackberries. I got tea. All right. I have water. Here's your IEP needs. Okay. I have a Diet Pepsi. I have Tootsie Rolls. I have my phone. And I always, and this is something you guys might like, all right? I always have the state's rules, and this was Oklahoma I was dealing with today. All right, so I always have their Department of Education's workbook. all right, or their laws and their rules on IEPs and IEP meetings. And then I highlight them, okay? I highlight areas that I know I'm going to reference. And one thing that's cool actually about the, and I always print it out. I got to have paper in front of me. So, oh, Aaron just wrote about what I did. That's so funny. They actually write about how their IEPs should look and what parents should do. And I love that because, and I'll be honest with you, their IEPs are weird, but a lot of IEPs that I see are weird. But I like that it talks about on each page what should be where. And it really helps because I'll just give you an example. Today, I was in the IEP meeting, and so I was redoing goals because they didn't write them right. It wasn't that they were bad goals. I'm not going to say the teacher wrote bad goals. And a lot of times, guys, it's not about the teachers writing bad goals. A lot of times it's about how the goal's written, not the goal in itself. Okay? Now, sometimes, and there were several that I caught today that were not appropriate. But one thing that they didn't do is they didn't have that measurability to the goal. And they didn't have it being specific. So where I had the percentage, where I had, how many trials, so 9 out of 10 trials at 90% accuracy as measured by report data collection. Sometimes I'll add written work and assessments, but I immediately have them remove anything that says observation. I have them remove anything that says as needed. One of the things that happened today that was kind of funny is I said the student doesn't have a one-on-one. The student needs a one-on-one. So the freaking dipshit attorney, you don't even understand. I freaking wanted to cuss this attorney out. It took everything I had. And I'm telling you this because I try to keep professional, but I'll tell you this attorney is pushing my last button. And she actually got into it with the dad. Her and the dad had a screaming match because of how rude she is. I mean, so it's not just me trying to hold my cool. She's gone too far, all right? To the point where she needs to be reported to the bar because she's that rude and disrespectful, and then tries to deviate the fault to other people. And so I finally said to her, you need to shut your damn mouth and let the team talk. Because you are not part of the team. Yes, I am. I'm part of the team. Da-da. I said, no, you're not. Have you ever met this child? Have you ever talked to this child? Have you even said hello to this child? No. Then you're not part of the team because you are not a member of the team that knows the child and has knowledge in regard to the child, which is who has to be at an IEP meeting. Okay? So don't feel scared at all about challenging attorneys. They don't mean nothing to me anymore. All right? And I don't mean like as people. I just mean in an IEP meeting. Okay? Especially if they're going to be rude. Not many are, though. That's the weird part. Is a lot of attorneys that I deal with are actually quiet in IEP meetings because I actually sent a letter because there's actually a lot of documentation from judges all the way up to the Supreme Court. Yeah, you would know, Dana, huh? Even district court level, and even OSEP, all right, says that attorneys it's not advisable to have an attorney at IEP meeting. There's certain things that say to like an advocate because that puts the school system at the defense, which is what we want to do. But advocates are not against the school. Advocates are for the parent, where the school district is only for the school. That's it. Okay? They're not out for anything else. They are paid to protect the school's ass. That's it. And you know what's funny is I said, this is why the dad got in a fight with the school. This is what happened. Is I said, the student needs a one-on-one. You need to provide a one-on-one for the student. The lawyer then chimes in. This is stuff that happens, guys. You want to know this stuff because it's stuff that does happen, okay? It's not, I don't pull this stuff out of nowhere, all right? It's stuff that happens. And so the attorney then chimes in and says, he has a one-on-one. What are you talking about? Flip to page 29. Okay. So I scroll up on my computer and go to page 29. And I said, so where's the one-on-one? I read the IEP. I knew exactly what it said. So she said, see, right here. It says para support. I don't give a shit. Not one part of it said direct one-on-one for safety behavior redirection. Not one thing said direct one-on-one for XYZ. It said para support. That could mean there's a para in the room. That could mean the para is across the way and up, they need support. Maybe the para come, maybe they won't. I don't know. No, no, and no. I mean, it's like a school system saying, oh yeah, we go above and beyond the IEP. I know it's not in the IEP, but we go beyond it and we offer this and this and this. Okay, awesome. Then put it in the IEP. So anyway, the lawyer swears up and down that it's there. It wasn't there, obviously. So I said, you know what? I said, since you're so hell-bent on the fact that it's in the IEP when it's not, then you won't have a problem changing the wording. No joke. This is what she said. She said, no, I do. I said, you won't have a problem changing this because of the wording, right? So she said, no, I do have a problem with this because it sets the school up for failure. Dad lost his shit. I was kind of speechless for a second, and I was like, holy shit, she did not just say that. Do you hear what that said? I'm not going to let the school put that in there because I have to protect their ass. I don't give a shit about the child. That is what that said. So Dad said, are you kidding me? So she's swearing up and down. I have it on recording. Swearing up and down. All right? He has a one-on-one. Screaming. He has a one-on-one. Look on page 29. It's right there. Look at it. I mean, this is how she's acting. So, of course, I go to that page, and that's where she said, look. And I said, oh, it just says para support. It does not say a direct one-on-one. If you want a one-on-one, guys, you have to have direct one-on-one for. It can be safety, redirection, behavior. Those are the top three, okay? But never para support or whatever unless you're just wanting para support, which is they can be anywhere, but they're supporting your child. If you want it to be specific, it better be specified in the IEP or it's not happening. I swear to you it's not. All right? Unless it says that that child has a direct one-on-one, and I always have it put within so far of a distance of the child. Okay? So the child cannot, the para that is with the child cannot be but so far in front, behind, or sideways from the child. Always has to be in the vicinity of the child. So if something happens in regards to safety, that para is right there. The problem that they even mentioned in this IEP was that paras are being given to other children that need assistance, which I'm not knocking at all because those children should receive one-on-ones too. But how dare you take a para from one child to go and give to another and like bounce them back and forth when one child's required per the IEP to have a one-on-one. It doesn't work like that. That's what they're doing, but it doesn't work like that. That other child who needs support that school needs to have a para that's a floater. All right. So the ones that have direct one-on-one instruction or one-on-one paras, that person needs to be right with that child. If it's a child that just needs support, then you need to have a rotating para that is all over the classroom that works with multiple different children that don't need that directness. Does that make sense? And then you have like I said, the one-on-one with the child. Yes, it is. So you have the directness or you have, how come? Because it's hard. All right. Well, go sit down and I'll be right there. So you want to make sure that you specify everything. All right. Here's something funny. Okay. And then I'm going to hop off because I was just getting on to tell you guys to go and make sure that you put in do it as a practice. All right. And if something happens, all right, and it doesn't work, or he's fine. He's fine. I'm getting ready to jump off. Or, something's not working and they're giving you a hard time, let me know. I'll tell you what to say. All right. Um, it, don't worry about it. Okay. I'll help you. But you need to make sure that you're asking for the right thing. All right. Or if you need me to just write that email for you, WhatsApp me and I will talk with you and we'll have a conversation and then we'll go from there. Okay. So if you need your child's, records and that sort of thing. All right. So again, I have 4 spots open coming up. So you don't want to ignore that just because summer's coming. You work through the summer of getting everything your child needs so that come August, September, you're off and running, or those assessments start. And this is what I've been saying, because certain children are not getting assessments because their year is not until May. So what's happening is I'm getting the school systems to start the assessments in May. And then what they don't finish, they have agreed to start the assessment within 14 days, not, school days. All right, Jake, no, from the start of school. Okay. So what does that mean? All right. So say they start and they do the psycho ed and that gets finished, but you still need to do speech and OT and all those things. Well, that can be picked up within 2 weeks of the start of school, and then you have an immediate IEP. So what I've been starting to do, which is really cool because I haven't done this in the past, is I'm encouraging the schools, because of COVID and because of everything going on. We really want to get this done because I know you want the best for the best interest of the child. We want what's been in the best interest of the child. We really want this to get moving. I know you're going to be so overwhelmed, and next year's going to be a shit show. So, all these kids are coming back to school. There's going to be all these behavior problems. There already is. And, I'm having parents call me, oh my God, my child is this, and this, because they just went back to school. So you want to be ahead of the game. All right. So whether you're asking for assessments or whatever it is that you're asking for, do it now. Even if it continues until when school starts again, I get it to where they start within the first 14 days. So within 2 weeks, you'll have an IEP meeting. Within 2 weeks, you'll have your assessment starting again. Okay. And I have it put in writing into the PWN that you won't lose days of when the assessment will be done. Okay. So say they had 30 days from now until May or whenever school's out. Okay. So that means they'll only have 30 days from the start of school. Okay. But I'm having them agree that it will be done within 14 days, and within 30 days we will meet. And even 2 of the school systems have already allowed me to schedule the meeting, which is awesome. All right. So it's all about the communication. It's all about getting them to do what's needed. And a lot of school systems will come around. Some have to be, you have to, put some on that spot where they're not listening to you anymore. If that's the case, then you need to deviate, like I said, get an advocate or whatever you need to do. And then you come back into play when they realize, oh, she's not kidding, like we need to address this. Because they don't want nightmare stuff happening next year. But you got to let them know that you're going to be a nightmare. All right? So it's one of those things that suck, but that is what you have to do. Right, Dana? You should cover state statutory laws to file complaints. You mean in a live? So I'm going to go, guys, but I did want you to know, I want you to put in your FERPA request. Tell me how it goes. Tell me what they said. No, I'm not writing a freaking book on everything that I ask for in my FERPA request. Is it a lot? Yeah, it's a whole thing. But, just practice. All right. And then, we'll go from there. All right. But you need to get your stuff. All right. And you need to, complaints, in reference to the state, they're all pretty much the same, just the time frame or, but yeah, I did one on state complaints, but I'll do another one soon. Or even OCR complaints and all of that stuff, but mediations, etc. I have a couple mediations coming up. So, All right. So if you have questions, post them below. I know this is short and sweet tonight, but I want you guys to get your records. All right. Even if your child's new. Someone said to me once earlier this, I think it was maybe early March. She said, my child's in kindergarten. Should I request the FERPA request like you have asked people to do? And I said, absolutely. I said, think about it. If you start now and you're asking for records every single year, then she's going to have this history of things a lot of us wish we did and wish we had. So no matter how young your child is, every year you should ask for a FERPA request and make sure you receive data, 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 and more data. All right. So yeah, it's not covered. There's nothing covered. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Y'all? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the microphone. So I don't know. Can you guys hear me okay? Good? Hopefully it's good. Yes? Okay, cool. Okay, good. Can a child with ADHD have an IEP? Of course. Of course. So many children with ADHD just alone have IEPs. Absolutely. 100%, Chris. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Gina. Okay, good, Kristen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Tamara says, hi, my son's SPED teacher won't provide the collected data towards math. I'm confused. I am not interested in anecdotal or subjective data. I agree. Yes, you don't want subjective data. You want objective data. So, yes, Tamara, message me, but also get that in writing from her. Use some trickery. Trickery. Get it in writing. Sometimes you have to be very slick about the way you go about things. And what I mean by that is how you say something factual, but in a way that brings them out and talking. Kind of like I teach in my course. I talk about how many questions you ask, and you have to never make a statement. Well, I wouldn't say never. Okay, I don't say never and I don't say always. Okay, I'm not going to say that again. Most of the time, you always just want to make a statement. Okay, so you don't want to make a statement. Sorry. Ask a question and then ask another question. They come back with a response, ask another question. They come back with a response, ask another question. Believe it or not, you can ask questions off of everything that they say. Skylar, 5 minutes, that's it. All right. Do you have glass in your hand? Let me see what you have. Show me. No ma'am. You can throw a fit, but listen to me. You need to just go put it in a plastic. All right? Don't cuss at me. You need to just go put it in plastic. Then you can go down there and do the treadmill. Thank you for saying sorry. I appreciate that. Okay. So that's what you need to do. All right? So you need to make sure that you have all of that together. All right? And make sure you ask questions and ask questions and ask questions. The more you ask questions, the more they talk. All right? And they're not expecting all these questions. I'm in IEP meetings all the time, and, I'll forewarn them, because today I was saying, you need to provide a direct one-on-one reading instructor and specialist, and they don't have one in this town. This is a small town. You might have remembered me talking about this before. And my training, Davinia, yes, I will get that to you. Or Aaron, maybe Aaron will post the course for you. Okay. But yeah, I teach my whole system. It's crazy. All right. And it's a lot of information, but you'll know everything that I'm talking about. All right. And then it's all about practice makes perfect. A lot of people like to see what I do and then they go and mirror it, which is awesome. And so it's important to just understand that when you keep asking questions, like me, I demand, okay, answer a question with a question. That's right. Aaron's taking my course. So you always, the more questions you ask, the more they have to spill. Okay? And the more they spill, the more they forget about what it is they shouldn't say or what it is that the administration has told them not to say. All right? You catch them off guard and then you get the truth, which is so unfortunate. But it's true. You know, my parent today, she said, you know, the one-on-one, her child's one-on-one that is just a para, but she's not the one-on-one like directly, used to email her all the time until I came into the picture. And so what happened was the school district and the district representatives and the principal told her not to talk to mom anymore because they knew mom was on their butt. And that's the unfortunate part of really a lot of this is why does it come to the point where someone else has to get involved and make them do what they're supposed to do and adhere to IDEA, even their own state laws? Why is it that someone has to come into play that knows what they're doing to make them get off their ass or do their job? Why is it that it has to get to that point in the first place, but then when it does, you want to go tell everybody to hush hush? Why do you have to do that? It happens all the time. It's complete politics. All right? Completely. So what I want you guys to do, so true, they hate when I reach out to my son. Yeah. A lot of times they won't let you reach out to a one-on-one, so you're lucky that you do. I remember I got my one-on-one cell phone, but never, if you have a relationship with a one-on-one or para, never let the school system know who gave you that information. You can get documents, you can get whatever it is you want from this person, this one-on-one that you have a relationship with that works directly with your kid because they love that one-on-one or whatever, all right? But never throw that person under the bus, all right? Now, teachers, principals, everybody else, fair game, all right? You got your good teachers, you got your bad teachers, you got your good principals, you got your bad principals. You got that with everybody, all right? But what you need to focus on is you can't think about throwing anybody under the bus in the realm of those people, all right? I just am picky. Post link for a course and ask them. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to understand that a one-on-one is different than the teacher. It's not their job to teach. It's their job to support your child. If they end up doing some teaching, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. I don't know what that para's education is. I don't know if they're doing the how your child learns correctly. I don't know, and I can't comment to that. What I can comment to is you more than likely know that answer, and then you need to go with your gut as to, is that really appropriate? Is that effective? Is your child making progress, or are they not? And then it's not about the para at that time because they're only doing what they're told to do. All right? It's about the teacher. Then it's about the principal, and so on and so forth. All right? But believe it or not, principals can be a lot worse than directors of special ed. And teachers do what they're told. And principals tell teachers to do things all the time that teachers really don't want to do, but they don't want to lose their job. All right? So it's unfortunate, but you cannot live your life or what I call the special education career, your special education career, your child's special education career, always worried about who's being thrown under the bus. It's an unfortunate, you got to look at it as it's unfortunate. It sucks. I'm so sorry that it's like that. I wish it wasn't like that, but I got to protect my child, and anything in the way has got to go. That's how you got to think about it. And in the way, what I mean by that is in the educational piece of it, of who's involved and who is impacting what is going on with your child. And when I say don't throw a one-on-one under the bus, that's the only person. And the reason I say that is because that person could be your best friend. That person could be your in as to what's going on in the school. All right? And you wouldn't know otherwise. Give you information, whatever. I had it done. So they could give you information, they could do whatever, and you just don't throw them under the bus. Like, who gave you this? Doesn't matter who gave it to me. That's what you say. Doesn't matter. I know a lot of people in the school system. I know, and you never want to kind of make it obvious. So you want to say, I know a lot of people in the school system. Believe it or not, I know a lot more people than you think I know. I know a lot about you that you probably don't think I know. You want to put those things out there so that their mind goes elsewhere. You don't want to throw a one-on-one under the bus if they're helping you. All right? If they're one-on-one and you know that they're not good for your child, it's different. All right? So protect what's sacred and good so that your child can have that and keep that, especially if they have a good relationship with them. But at the same time, you can't worry about throwing people under the bus. Again, it's unfortunate. It sucks. Do I wish we could do it differently? Of course. But when that day comes, we'll address that then. But it's not here. So, all right. See, in my school district where I work for, they won't give one-on-ones unless the case, it's complicated. What? I don't understand what that means, Christine. Because of COVID, I have cell phone numbers for every one of my son's team. His para is awesome and text me. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so true. So hopefully things eventually one day will get better. But right now it's unfortunate. You know, things have never been perfect and they'll never be perfect, you know, and it's hard, you know, because, you know, I'll just go with this last IEP meeting. I mean, the teacher, and this is a special ed teacher, I don't think she means bad. But she couldn't write a goal to save her life. She had no idea what adaptive behavior was. Her goal on adaptive behavior had nothing to do with adaptive behavior. And that's what's unfortunate. But what I was going to tell you guys a few minutes ago before I hop off is I contacted the Oklahoma Department of Education before I had this IEP meeting. I think I told you this, but the school system told the parents and myself that the child could not take the alternative assessment or the alternate assessment because the child didn't qualify last year. Well, that's not true. And I said, that doesn't even make sense. If a child qualifies, it's not individualized if you don't change them. And they qualify for that. You can't do that. Oh, yes, we can. There's a waiver. And if they don't qualify, then they tried to say that the child did not qualify for the checklist of things of how to qualify for alternate assessment. And so I pulled it up right then and there, right in front of them. I said, okay, I answered every question. Why would you say that the child doesn't qualify? He qualifies for everything. And then the school said, well, we can't really do it because, you know, there's a waiting list and waiting time and waivers and all this shit. So I contacted the Department of Education, and do you know who contacted me back? So there's the superintendent, all right, and then there's what's called underneath the superintendent, it's called a deputy superintendent. All right, so there's like 3 or 4 of them. So it's kind of like if you look at the principal of a head honcho, then it's the assistant principal. If you look at the president, then it's like the vice president, okay, is what the deputy superintendent is, okay? Rocco, no sir. And so what happened is he got back to me and he was really thorough in what he said. And he said, no, that's not true. Because I asked him all the questions that I asked the school. And I said, I'm not losing my mind. I mean, this is crazy, you know, like alternate assessment. I know my stuff when it comes to that. Alternate assessments are for any child with special needs, and most children should be on it if they're not on grade level. And he said, yeah, any child, as long as they qualify, for special education in the academic areas, they qualify to take the alternate assessment. It's still a state assessment. It's just an assessment that comes with accommodations, modifications, etc. Because state assessments, you are not allowed to have that. And so, it was interesting how he validated that, and even said in the email, can you give me the information on the school of who it is, the child, blah, blah, blah. So I did. I gave them my consent form that the parents had filled out. And he messaged back and he said, well, it sounds like from what you're telling me that this school system needs to have training. And I said, absolutely, they need training. I said, if anything, when this is said and done, we're going to make a complaint based on the fact that this school needs training. And they have lacked in that, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to write goals. If it comes to it, I'll send them all of the recordings that I have to show that I'm sitting here writing these goals for the child, rewriting every single one of their goals. I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to read and say out loud. That's why the IEP is taking so long, is I'm having to read each goal and tell them how to reword it. And they're confused by what I'm telling them to do. Like, they're not understanding why there should be trials or why there should be percentages or how you measure a goal. They're trying to put in, names of, different reading methodologies and things like that, and saying that that's the norm. Well, sure, if you want to put it in there, go for it. But that's not typically in a goal, but okay. But if you're going to do that, then I want Wilson reading or Orton Gillingham put into the child's IEP. Well, they changed their tone really quick. But you want to challenge them. Okay? Ask questions. Tons of them. And don't give up. My son is on track to graduate with his high school diploma, but he hasn't passed the state assessment in the past 4 years, and his academic work is not graded. What? What do you mean? Why aren't you asking for his data? You need data. His academic work is not graded. You need to request that FERPA request. What happens when you have to go into your child's meeting with an advocate but happen to work for the school system as well? Is there some kind? No. It sucks for you, Christine. Just being honest. I tell parents all the time. I've said it on here multiple times. Don't work for the school system that your child goes to if they have an IEP. Big mistake. So look at the next school district over for next year. Sorry. I'm sorry. But it's true. It's true. Because it's almost like you have to choose. They're going to hate on you, or you're going to ask and get what your child needs. They're going to hate on you or even fire you, or you ask what your child needs. That's scary. You don't want to do that to yourself. The school refuses to provide. Oh, bullshit, Tamara. Oh, don't get me started. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Nope. Just get off my page right now. Just kidding. What the hell? Did they put that in writing? Tell them to put that shit in writing. And then send it to me. I will deal with it. The school refuses to provide data is what she's saying, guys. This is what she said. The school refuses to provide data. They can't refuse to provide data. By law, they have to provide data. They actually, by law, have to put into the IEP how they're going to collect data. They can't say they're not going to give you data. Are you kidding me? You should have called their ass out on that, Tamara. Don't make me ream you. No. You go back to do it right now. Get on the email. Put it, your whole team, the director of special education, the superintendent, put them all on there. And you email and say, on such and such date, on such and such date, on such and such date, I requested data. Find out when you requested data so you write the right dates. Then you say, And I was told that you are not going to provide the data, that you're refusing to provide that to me. So on record, I am requesting a full FERPA request for 2018, 19, 20, and 21. I expect to receive it via email within the next 45 days. I want my whole scholastic file, and I mean, you can name all kinds of shit. I mean, you can name so much stuff, what you want. I mean, I asked for specific shit. The district says that my son's therapeutic school is not required to provide the data, only the progress report. Bullshit. Is the school paying for the private school? Therapeutic school? Is the school paying for it? Is the school, your child has an IEP under the public school? And then the private school has to then support it. Isn't that how it's working? I don't know why you have to do it again. Okay, so that's how it's working. So basically what's happening here is the school district is responsible. Okay? Don't let them bullshit you and say, oh, the therapeutic day school doesn't have to do that. Guess what? If the IEP is based on the public education that your child's getting, he's just at a public day school or private day school or a therapeutic day school, doesn't matter what it's called. Okay? The school system, the district, the public school district is responsible. Their job, being responsible because your child is at a therapeutic day school, is to make sure that the laws in regards to your child's IEP is upheld by that therapeutic day school. So that therapeutic day school is held accountable for everything that is required within your school district. Why? Because they have a contract with your school district. That's who's paying their bill. Okay? Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. My son just had triennial IEP testing. He qualified for HI services, mutism. Have you ever helped a child? SM. What's SM? The silent mutism? Is that what you're referencing? And yes, I have. If you're referencing silent mutism, the child cannot speak at all. Yes, I have dealt with that many times. That's, you know, I deal with autism, ADHD, every disability I can't say every disability. I've never done like muscular dystrophy yet. I've of course done autism, ADHD, sensory processing disorder, working memory, Down syndrome. I mean, anxiety alone, okay? All kinds of stuff, emotional disturbance, behavior, all kinds of stuff. But yeah. And in all honesty, an IEP is an IEP is an IEP. All right? You just got to base it on the child's needs. The unfortunate part is you got to fight for what those are because for some reason they're not just given to you because they're needed. Yes, he also has autism diagnosis, but they saw ADHD characteristics. Okay. Just remember, a school system is not allowed to diagnose, but if they see ADHD characteristics, just go with it. Whatever. Got to get him more accommodations. I wouldn't sweat that at all, you know. If he has autism and ADHD and mutism, typically you want them all on the IEP, but typically you only choose 2 to be under what's called impact of disability, of why they qualified for the IEP. So make sure that that is autism and the silent mutism, that the child can't talk, okay? Not ADHD or OHI. You want the mutism and you want the autism. And then you want to put ADHD in the present levels, in the notes and comments, and so on and so forth. Okay? So it's all in there, but your 2 most important are under impact of disability. I have a triennial review meeting, and the advocate was like, it will get messy, especially if we have to ask for an IEE for my daughter who has a learning disability. Who cares? Let it get messy. Don't be afraid of that. I kind of have an attitude now. I feel like I have an attitude. But I do, like it just pisses me off. Just give the kids what they need. Damn, then we'll get off your ass. I mean, problem solved. You don't want us on your ass. We don't want to be up your ass. I mean, just give the kids what they need and we'll have no problems. Life can't be that easy, can it? Hey, Kim. Yes, they just pass the kids along. I have heard of it. Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, I had the principal ask the parents today, has your child ever been retained? Well, shouldn't you freaking know that? You have their damn record. I mean, yeah, don't get me started. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go eat dinner and punish Sky. Did you hear her cussing earlier? She's almost 16, so it does come out. And she got mad because she was going downstairs in the basement, which is like, it's like painted cement because we have a whole workout area under, and she went to the treadmill and she was taking glass in her water. So the water in her glass, whatever. And so I made her get plastic and she was not happy about it. So, yeah, she had a few words for me. But yeah, guys, so it sucks, but you guys got to fight for these kids. You just have to, and in my mind, I've always had the thought process of, you don't want to be out, to get somebody, and you don't want to feel like you're out to be just nasty or ride somebody's butt. That takes so much energy, doesn't it? And yet that's what we have to do. And I don't know if you're anything like me in this sense, but I always have said, and I've said this from the beginning, you can mess with me. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. Really doesn't. Do I get my feelings hurt if someone said something mean or rude or disrespectful, especially if they don't really know me? Sure. Just like anybody would. But at the same time, you can mess with me all you want. Now you mess with my kids, and it's a whole different ballgame. So if you're anything like that, then you get what I'm saying when it's like, do we want to put forth all that energy to have to fight like we do, and have the stress that we have and the anxiety that we have and the sleepless nights that at least I had for years, 6.5 to be exact. No, we don't want to have that. It's horrible, horrible. And for the school systems to think that have you ever been told, oh, you just want to be difficult? I don't want to be difficult. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want to be difficult. I just won't let you get away with the bullshit. I can't do it. I cannot sleep with myself at night if I just let someone get away with running their mouth with BS. And the stuff that school systems tell parents that I hear about, and then I confront them on it. The parents aren't lying to me. I confront the school on it. They admit it. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you just throw out bullshit and know that a parent may not know the rules, laws, policies, etc., and you abuse that? You use them not knowing, but believe me, they're going to find out. And you use that almost against them. That's just kind of shitty. So think about those things when you guys are thinking, I just want to be nice. I just want, to keep the peace, which we all do, but sometimes you just can't. You just can't sit back and allow it to happen. And if they're going to do that to you, and they're saying things to you that are not truthful, Hannah will tell you about that, right, Hannah? You cannot just sit back and accept that. You can't just say, oh, I just want to get along. I just want to keep the peace. Well, I do too, but I also have no tolerance for the lies that they do and they say. I have recorded IEP meetings, and then I have districts writing PWNs that has nothing to do with what was talked about and are lies. And I have to then go back to them and say, I have you on recording. Why are you lying? You know? And it's almost like they forget, or I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why they do the things that they do. But you can't sit back and allow it, you know? So now, who am I going to call out here? Who am I calling out? Hi, Mary. I agree. Why they don't have those services will meet their needs in regional centers and ASD therapy program centers. This is just sad, left behind, not helping. Yeah. Hi. How do you say your name? Thibodeau? Courtney. That's your last name. Courtney Thibodeau. How do you say that? That's hard. I have a child that has ADHD, never had an IEP while she was in elementary, but she's now in sixth, and I was told that she wouldn't get an IEP. Well, there's a lot of questions to go into detail on that. A lot. Why? Have they assessed her? What assessments have they done? You want to just ask 500 million questions to that. Hey, Keela, how are you? So the autism ADHD characteristics. So who was it that said something? Who was it, y'all, that said they refused to provide data? Tamara, you better go after that school for saying that. Do I tell them you are recording? I don't. I'm in a one-party state, though. So if you're in a one-party state, where do you live, Myrna? California is not, so I put in my first email for my parents that I'm recording and transcribing every IEP. If you have a problem with it, say your piece now. Yep, so there you go. I just told you what to do. All right, so say your piece. Tell them, say your piece, but you're recording every damn meeting and transcribing it. I love Loom. I mean, you get everybody's picture, you get the recording, and when it's done, it will transcribe for you if you're paying the $10 a month, which I do because it's freaking awesome. I love it. And then if I have to record something on my screen for a parent to show them how to do something, then I just record it on my screen and send them the Loom video, and it's cake. It's awesome. I was just talking with someone about a child and asking questions. See, look, I was supposed to just hop on and hop off, and now we're at 1 hour and 7 minutes. I need to get the hell off here, y'all. I spend too much time with you. No, I'm just kidding. I was just talking with someone about a child and asking questions. This person said that schools do not tell parents about things as they don't want them to know. This makes me disputed with the school system, as this is the school system I deal with. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What does your thing say? The monkey is off my back, but the circus is still in town. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, any other questions, guys? Sorry, connection on this. My apologies. That's okay. Hi, Mary. How are you? All right. Thank you, Erin. She just posted how to reach me. If you want to reach me, WhatsApp is so simple. You download it, it's free, and then you literally sign up with your email or Facebook, and then you just click the link to connect with me. It's so much better than Messenger, guys, because you can literally push the button. I'm going to show you. I'll even do a Loom for you of how to do it. But you can push the button and to speak on the speaker, and you can speak up to 15 minutes. Don't leave me a 15-minute voicemail. Like, keep it at like 5-minute increments. But like, you know, it's awesome. I always tell people do 5-minute increments, and then if I need to like go to the bathroom, I can stop it and then go to the bathroom, then come back and listen. You know, I got to think about all those things. All right. So I'm going to go, guys. Make sure that you get your FERPA requests out and message me on how that went about. Message me on what you requested. I'm curious, you know. And again, I have 4 spots open. Four. I already got a phone call, getting ready to go out in a little bit. And I just announced this yesterday. So you don't want to not get things going. And like I said, I'm already scheduling appointments within the first 2 weeks of school starting again. All right. And getting all of the evaluations going. And with enough of a shit fit, I can even get certain evaluations done through the summer because psychologists don't always work like teachers. They're not on that 9 month all the time. Some are, some aren't. But a lot of times a school system can get a psychologist put in place for the summer. And they have to have somebody on their payroll, if you will, more likely than not during ESY time. So, it's just important to don't think summer stops anything. And you don't want to stop anything because you don't want Christmas to come because you started assessments in September, then they're not done until October, November, then you're not getting an IEP set until December, January. Please, guys, don't do that. Okay? Get your IEPs on point and your BIPs on point now. Thank you, Dorothy. Hi, Kristen Carlton Helms. I just wanted to say hi. All right, guys. So I'm going to go. Make sure to message me on WhatsApp if you have to, and for some reason you want to message me on Messenger. I'll help walk you through it if you want to. And we will go from there. All right. Tomorrow I'm definitely going live. As to the time, I don't know because it's a crazy day. So I probably might even be super early. This seems to be like a good time, but like it's hard on crazy busy days when I have IEPs coming up. Like I have a review tomorrow, and then I have an IEP on Thursday, and then I have an IEP on Friday. So it's always nonstop. Okay, so I will talk to you guys soon. Post your questions below if you have more questions. I will get to them. Post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live and you're catching the replay. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, or if you're on here and you haven't done either of those, post that 1 below where you're from, and so I know that you're new. And post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. I want to say hi to you guys. And if you haven't joined the group, which many of you I know have, hi Tess, how are you? Make sure, okay, that you jump over to the group and join the group. Just put in the search bar, Autism Mama Rocks, the IEP group. Okay? Hey, BB, how are you? I was actually checking out your picture the other day, and you are so cute. All right, so you had a cute picture or something up, and I was like, I went on to Facebook, and it was cute. All right, guys, so I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful evening, and I'm here if you need anything, okay? I'll talk to you soon.